State your name when making a comment or asking a question. We will now begin the meeting with a roll call of all members.
All right. I will go down the list alphabetically by agency. First name with organization. Raquel Schatz. Steve O'Brien.
Present.
VDOT. Raj Thowdam, City of Avondale. John Willett, City of Buckeye. John McFarland, City of Chandler.
Yeah, I'm present.
Jennifer Acuna, Federal Highway Administration.
Present.
Christopher Salas, Town of Florence. Aaron Pinkerton, Town of Gilbert. Randy Prock, City of Glendale. Brian Harville, City of Goodyear. Keith Jernasky, City of Litchfield Park. Scott Nodes, City of Maricopa.
Present.
Angela Macaluso, McDot.
Here.
Maria Angelica Deeb, City of Mesa.
Here.
Jerry Cooper, Town of Paradise Valley. Charles Andrews, City of Peoria.
Present.
Leticia Vargas, City of Phoenix. Christopher Wanamaker, Pinell County.
Here.
Brad Novacek, Town of Queen Creek. Jennifer Jack, Salt River Pima.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Vice Chair Domi, City of Scottsdale.
Present.
Jonathan Fuchs, City of Surprise.
Present.
Corey Steele, City of Tempe.
Present.
Jamie McCracken, City of Tolleson.
Gabriel Elias for City of Tolleson.
Gabriel Iglesias.
Elias.
Thank you. And Grant Anderson, Town of Youngtown.
Here.
All right, did I miss anyone in the roll call?
Aaron Pinkerton, Town of Gilbert. Sorry, stepped in slightly late.
Thank you, Aaron.
This is Raj Thowdam from City of Avondale.
Thank you, Raj.
Raquel Schatz, City of Apache Junction.
Thank you, Raquel.
Chris Salas, Town of Florence.
Thank you, Chris.
John
And Viviana Barrientos.
Thank you, John. And there was another voice.
Viviana Barrientos with City of Chandler.
Chandler. Vivian, and can I get your last name again, please?
Yeah, Barrientos. So Barrientes.
Barrientos. Thank you, Vivian.
Ivan Magana with City of Chandler.
Ivan Magana. Can you spell your last name, please?
Yeah, Magana.
Thank you, Ivan.
Hi,
Anyone else?
Leticia Vargas. Leticia Vargas, City of Phoenix.
Oh, thank you, Leticia. All right, Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Agenda item number 2 is the call to the audience. MAG provides the opportunity for the public to comment on items that fall under MAG's jurisdiction that are not on the agenda, informational items, or items on the agenda for discussion and not for action. Members of the public are invited to submit written comments via the MAG website. Any comments received 2 hours prior to the meeting have been shared with committee members in advance of the meeting for consideration and will be included in the formal meeting minutes. Staff, have we received any online written comments for the call to the audience?
Thank you, Chair. We've received no online written comments for call to the audience.
Thank you. Agenda item number 3 is the MAG staff report. This item is on the agenda for information and will be presented by Patrick Stone, MAG Transportation Funding Program Manager. Patrick?
Thank you, Chair, members of Street Committee. Pleasure to be here as always. One item today only. Wanted to announce a new member of the Street Committee. Unfortunately, she was unable to attend due to a conflict, but Susanna Struble will be representing the town of Gilbert. She has Aaron Pinkerton here today as her proxy, so we'll certainly recognize her at our next meeting. With that, Chair, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Agenda item number 4 is the approval of the March 12th, 2024 meeting minutes. Does any member of the committee have any questions? Hearing none, prior to the approval of the meeting minutes, there is an opportunity for members of the public to comment. Staff, have we received any online written comments for this item?
Thank you, Chair. We received no online written comments for this agenda item.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve agenda item number 4? And please make sure you state your name and agency.
This is Angela Macaluso with Maricopa County. So moved.
I have a motion. Can I get a second?
Anderson, Youngtown, second.
Thank you, Grant. We have a motion and a second. We will have those participating in the meeting take part in a voice vote by turning on their cameras and unmuting their audio. We need to see the faces of everyone to participate in the voice vote. For those who cannot or do not want to turn on their cameras, staff will conduct a roll call vote afterwards. Staff will only call on those virtual participants who do not turn on their camera. Members, please leave on your cameras until after the roll call vote so that staff can count the people's names whose cameras are not on. We're going to do a voice vote now. I'm going to give you guys a second to turn on your cameras and unmute yourselves, including myself. For those in favor, say aye.
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 And staff, let me know when you're ready to proceed.
Ready, Chair.
Thank you. Those opposed say nay. Hearing none, members, please leave your cameras on. Staff, can you take a roll call of any members who did not turn on their camera?
Yeah, yes, Mr. Chair. Jonathan Fuchs,
Abstain.
Charles Andrews,
Aye.
Aaron Pinkerton,
Abstain.
Vivian Barrientos,
Abstain.
Ryan, real quick, excuse me, Chair, pause, apologies for interrupting. The 2 additional Chandler folks, Ryan, are just here in attendance. John McFarland's the committee member and has already voted. I believe the only other person left will be Mr. Novacek from the town of Queen Creek.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And I
Brad.
vote aye.
Brad Novacek, thank you.
Okay, you can turn off your cameras now. And please mute yourself. Agenda item number 5, the Arterial Life Cycle Program, the project change process overview. This item is on the agenda for information and will be presented by Carrie Kasser, MAG Transportation Planner 1.
Thank
Carrie?
you, Mr. Chair. Thank you. So yes, I will be presenting on the Arterial Life Cycle Program, or ALCP, project change request overview. It's just super high level to give you some background on this tool, and then that will transition into the next item. So next, please. So just a quick overview of what the ALCP is. This serves as the financial management tool for the arterial component of the RTP, and it is guided by the policies and procedures for the program. And this was last approved by Regional Council in October of last year. Next slide, please. So the ALCP policies and procedures require that all requests to change original ALCP project scopes or substitute them for different projects must be presented to the MAG Street Committee for technical review and a recommendation. Next slide, please. So within this process, the project change summary is included with each request that summarizes the current and planned projects, provides the ALCP project budgets, includes estimated cost estimates, and otherwise the required evaluation of the project change tool is based on 9 criteria to make sure they meet all of those criteria. Next, please. So for the technical review, the agencies will present on the following information to display what the proposed project is, the existing project, explain a little bit about why it is not feasible to do the original project and why the new project should be implemented, and details on how the change will relieve congestion and improve mobility, and then finally a result of the project change tool analysis. Next slide, please. So that's really the overview, super simple. I'm happy to take any questions if you have any, but thank you so much.
Thank you, Carrie. Do any members have any questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll move to agenda item number 6, which is the ALCP program project change technical review for Lindsay Road, Ocotillo Road to Hunt Highway. This item is on the agenda for information, discussion, and possible action, and will be introduced by Patrick Stone, MAG Transportation Funding Program Manager. Patrick.
Thank you, Chair, members of the Street Committee. My pleasure to introduce this item. I will pause for a moment and reach out to John McFarland with the City of Chandler. John, who will be presenting this item on behalf of the city?
I believe that'll be Hezekias, I believe.
Perfect. Thank you. With that, Mr. Chair, I'll turn the presentation over to Hezekias Rochas with the City of Chandler. Hezekias?
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Chair Christo and members of the committee. As John said, my name is Hezekias, and I'll be presenting on the ALCP project change request for the Lindsay Road, Ocotillo Road to Hunt Highway stretch. Next, please. So the original project that the City of Chandler is requesting the change from is the Ray Road intersection at Dobson Road, improvements for the phase 2. This project includes improvements of creating dual left turn lanes on all approaches, right turn lanes on all approaches, and auxiliary lane on Dobson Road. The ALCP funding for this project was pushed out beyond 2025. And this project is also being added to Chandler CIP, but it's in lower priority right now. And we also have HSIP grant funding that pushes the schedule for this project planned for way beyond the Prop 400 schedule. So that's why we're requesting the change to the Lindsay Road project of the stretch of road between Ocotillo Road and Hunt Highway. Next, please. That project that we are proposing to replace the original project includes corridor improvements to Lindsay Road between Ocotillo and Hunt Highway, and includes the widening of the road from 2 to 4 lanes, raised medians and on-street bike lanes, curb, gutter, sidewalk, and ADA ramp upgrades, traffic signal upgrades, and street light improvements, drainage improvements, the addition and inclusion of landscaping throughout the corridor, intersection improvements also at the crossing of Lindsay Road and Riggs Road with dual left turns included, and water, sewage, and other utility improvements. Next slide, please. So the Ray Road intersection with Dobson Road projected cost for this project is $31.4 million, while the Lindsay Road corridor improvements project cost estimates is $33.8 million. Next slide, please. Based on the evaluation tool provided to us by MAG, both of those projects score very close. However, we do understand that the Lindsay Road project is scored a little bit lower at 0.8, while the original project scores at 1. But again, I want to bring back the scheduling and the grant funding that we have for the Ray Road and Dobson Road intersection project, which pushes the schedule beyond the Prop 400 schedules. Next, please. I also have here with me the project managers for both projects if you have any questions. But if not, thank you so much for the committee and chair and vice chair for listening to our project request today.
Thank you, Hezekiah. Do any members have any questions or comments?
Yes, this is Maria with the city of Mesa. Ezequiel, thank you very much for presenting. So just to be clear, the project that you're asking to take the LCP funds from, you're still doing that project with HSIP funding? It is just beyond the time of the LCP, correct?
Yes, that project is still scheduled to happen. It's just beyond the Prop 400 schedule.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any other questions? Seeing none, prior to voting, there is an opportunity for members of the public to comment. Staff, have we received any online written comments for this agenda item?
Thank you, Chair. We've received no online written comments.
Thank you. I'd like to have a motion to recommend including the proposed project changes in the draft FY 2025 ALCP. Can I have a motion?
I motion to approve. This is Marihelka with the city of Mesa.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Yeah.
Second.
Merlin with Chandler. I'll second that.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a second. We will vote by turning on our cameras and unmuting our audio. Please leave your cameras on until the end of the roll call vote. Can I have a voice vote? Those in favor say aye.
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 And staff, let me know when you're ready.
Ready, Chair.
Those opposed say nay. Okay. Staff, can you take roll call of the members participating virtually who did not turn on their cameras?
Yes, Chair. Jonathan Fuchs.
Abstain.
Charles Andrews.
Aye.
Brad Novacek.
Aye.
And that's everyone.
Thank you. That passes. Go ahead and turn your cameras off. Agenda item number 7 is the ALCP project change technical review, McQueen Road at Guadalupe Road and Warner Road from Wrecker Road to Power Road. This item is on the agenda for information, discussion, and possible action and will be introduced by Patrick Stone. Patrick?
Again, thank you, Chair, members of the street committee. Pleasure to introduce Aaron Pinkerton with the town of Gilbert to present this item. Aaron?
Yes, thank you. I'm happy to be here, be able to present for this. Hopefully I can answer all your questions. So once again, kind of this is similar to the previous one that was just shared. The Guadalupe Road and Power Road, that project's still planned to be constructed, but it's now outside in FY 28 right now, potentially scheduled a little farther out due to some lower priority and some issues that would need to be resolved in order to complete it. I'm going to go into the next slide. So as you can see here, the original project limits, looking at major improvements of the project. Go next slide. And I apologize. I actually filled in at the last minute and I have not seen these slides before. So bear with me. So the plan of the current project is to widen for additional turn lanes and doing drainage improvements. Go next slide. See, as I said before, yeah, it's going to FY 28, and the funds would not be able to be expended prior to the ending of the Prop 400. Next slide. Proposed one is moving over to Guadalupe. There's two projects. One is Guadalupe Road and McQueen Road. That project is currently will be finished up in the next year or so. So easily within the FY 24, within the Prop 400. They've already started the preliminary work on this one. Next slide. So they'll be reconfiguring McQueen Road and Guadalupe Road, adding dual lefts in all the directions to switching it to protected only phasing and adding dedicated right turn lanes on all approaches. Next slide. And a lot of this was based off of all our crash data. We're seeing a surprisingly high number of left turn crashes and rear ends that encourage both the dual lefts and the right turn lane. Part of the also is the volumes of the dual lefts for our level of service. We're seeing level service F, and this would bump it all up to a level D through 2043. Next slide. As you can see, Guadalupe Road scores overall much better than, McQueen and Guadalupe, our proposed project, scores much better than the Guadalupe and Power at a total score of 0.85 compared to the 0.55. Next slide. And then we're also looking, it looks like it wasn't included in here. I just go to the next slide, see if there's another one talking about Warner. Nope. So we're also looking at adding Warner Road, Wrecker to Power. This one is also in the documents associated with the meeting, if you go into those. But that one scores at about 0.75. It has, in essence, we have a lot of development projects along that area. And so this one's a higher priority. It's become a scalp section very quickly with our adjacent projects. This one.
Aaron, can I pause you just for a second? Mr.
Yes.
Chair, apologies. Aaron is correct. There was a slide deck that got inadvertently excluded that does show the other projects. So Tyler, real quick, if you can let me share my screen, Aaron, I'll bring up those slides. I do have that deck.
Perfect.
Patrick, you should just be able to take over, but I will.
Okay, let me share. Are you guys able to see my screen?
We're seeing your chat. So I think.
Let me stop sharing. Hold on. Let me share the. Oh, my screens are backwards from what I understand. Okay, let me try that again.
Someone's
All
a
right,
Giants
see it now?
fan.
Yes. Okay, this may go a little better that I'm not going off the cuff. So Warner Road, Wrecker to Power Road is another existing CIP project. Go ahead and go to the next slide. I believe it shows the project limits on it, or it shows the cross section. So we're bringing it up to a 3-lane section each direction. Right now, it's in essence a 1-lane section to the west of Wrecker. It is a 3-lane section each direction, and so it tapers down to 1 lane with the kind of right turn lanes off and on throughout it. But mostly it's down to a 1-lane road, except for where development's taken. So we're bringing the scalp section all the way up to our full build out here with a total right away 140 foot a major arterial cross section. This is our standard major arterial cross section. Go to the next slide. So this kind of shows you what we're seeing out there today. There you go. And you can see how this one shows, okay, all 3 scoring. And so the scores were updated a little bit. The Gilbert Road, one of those names, the bottom one, number 3 that's Warner Road, Wrecker to Power is number 3. So that one's at a 0.75. So all of them score, these 2 projects we're switching the funding to, and majority of the funding will be going to Wrecker and Power, Warner Road from Wrecker to Power, with a portion of it going to McQueen and Guadalupe. They both score higher than the Guadalupe and Power intersection, as well as a higher priority within the town's focus right now and our current needs based on the actual development where it's taking place. Go to the next slide. I think that's, yep. Questions?
Thank you, Aaron. Do any members have any questions or comments on this?
This is Charles Andrews, City of Peoria. I have a quick question.
Please.
You talk about development. Are you proposing to use these funds instead of development monies that aren't they responsible for some of it? You said something about scallop pieces, which we don't want. But again, is this funding going toward basically paying for what development should pay for?
No, the development would still be on the hook to either reimburse. So the town has these funding are not paying 100% for the project. The developers are required to do their half street improvement along the frontage areas, but they wouldn't have to be required. Some of our updated drainage that we need to do and some of the other improvements are outside the requirement we have for the developers. So no, developers are required to do their half street improvements for it. I'd have to look into exactly, okay, what's going from a 1-lane section to a 3-lane section major arterial. There may be a cap on how much we can require the developer to do it. If it's not a true full half street. But the developer is being required to participate.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Seeing none. Staff, have we received any online written comments for this agenda item?
Thank you, Chair. We've received no online written comments.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to recommend including the proposed project changes in the draft FY 2025 ALCP?
This is Brad Novacek.
Thank
This
you.
is Brad
I have a
Novacek
motion. Can I
from
get a
Town of
second?
Green Creek to so moved.
Thank you, Brad. Can I get a second?
I second. This is Marihelka with City of Mesa.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a second. We will vote by turning on our cameras and unmuting our audio again. And then please leave them on until after the roll call vote. Can I have a voice vote? Those in favor say aye.
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 Staff, let me know when you're ready.
Thank you, Chair. Ready.
Those opposed say nay. Hearing none. Staff, can you take a roll call of the members participating virtually who did not turn on their camera?
Yes, Chair. Jonathan Fuchs,
Abstain.
Charles Andrews,
Aye.
John Willett,
Oh, aye. I thought my camera was on. Sorry.
and am I missing anyone? Thank you, Chair. The motion passes, and I just want to mention I failed to mention before the prior motion passed as well, item 6.
Thank you, Ryan. Go ahead and turn your camera off. Agenda item number 8 is the ALCP project change technical review, Sossaman Road from Ray Road to Warner Road, Ray Road from State Route 24 to Ellsworth Road, and Broadway Road from Mesa Drive to Stapley Drive. This item is on the agenda for information, discussion, and possible action, and will be introduced by Patrick Stone. Patrick?
Thank you, Chair, members of the street committee. We'll make this easy. The next 3 items are all City of Mesa and will be presented by Maria Angelica Deeb with the City of Mesa. Maria Angelica?
Thank you very much. Next slide, please. So Mesa's goal for fiscal year 25 ALCP is to maximize the 70-30 under Prop 400 for 3 active, very important projects for us to do. These are the Sossaman Road, Ray Road to Warner Road, Ray Road connection at Ellsworth Road, and Broadway Road, Mesa Drive to Stapley. All of them are in our CIP, and I shared with you their CIP number. What we're asking to do is to reallocate the project savings that we have from the Signal Butte Williams Field to Germain, which is a project that was already completed, and remove Pecos Road from the LCP and shift the funding to those 3 projects I mentioned before. Next. I will highlight some of the projects I mentioned that we either have savings or we are reallocating the money from. The first one I'm going to talk about is Signal Butte, Williamsville to Germain. This project was completed. As you see, there's a screenshot of the letter of acceptance. This project was completed December 28 of 2022. And we provided the recap table to ADOT and MAG October 18 of 2023. We have savings that we are going to use or we want to use in those 3 projects I mentioned before. Next. One of the projects we want to delete from the LCP is Pecos Ellsworth Road to Meridian. Not because the project is not going to be done, but we first want to understand all the drainage improvements we need to do. And currently, this project is being done as a study, as a feasibility study and technical memorandum by the flood control. This project was initiated, the work assignment was initiated July 12 of 2023 and is only to address the drainage work. We will only proceed with the roadway improvements once the drainage work is addressed and constructed. Next slide. So now I'm going to talk about those 3 very important active projects that the City of Mesa has in their ALCP and their CIP. Their first one is Sesamon Road, Ray Road to Warner. The scope of work is to construct approximately 1 mile of new roadway with 4 lanes, a center turn lane, and connecting Ray to Warner Road. We're also going to install curb, gutters, and sidewalks, as well as a bike lane. And we're going to reallocate streetlights and utilities as appropriate. We're going to install ITS conduit, and the total project cost is $6.8 million. Next. For this project, we already signed an IGA with ADOT that was executed April 6 of 2023. Council awarded and approved construction April 15 of 2024, less than a month ago, with the construction cost up to $5.9 million. The City of Mesa requires more ALCP funds to really maximize the 70-30, and this is part of our request. Next. The second project that we might to maximize our 70-30 is Ray Road connections at Ellsworth Road. This is also part of our CIP. The scope of this project is to construct 6-lane road, including curb, gutter, light, and sidewalks, and to realign Ray Road at Ellsworth Road, and to remove any additional turning movements created by the current configuration. We're also working with developers so they comply with the new alignment. This time spent in this, and that's why it was a little delay, is all the coordination that it takes to work with developers, as well as to assess our right-of-way needs. Next. The Ray Road connection at Ellsworth, we have already an IGA with ADOT that was executed August 1st of 2023. Currently, we're working on the final PS&E, and we intend to bid this project for construction in fall of 2024. The total project cost for this approximately 1 mile of 6-lane road is $13.1 million. Next. The third active and priority project for the City of Mesa in fiscal year 25 is Broadway Road from Mesa Drive to Stapley Drive. This one, we're going to reconstruct Broadway Road between Mesa Drive and is approximately 3.3 miles east of Stapley. And that street is called Spur. The roadway is to remain an arterial with two through lanes in both directions. Next. We have already 100% plans, and you can see a screenshot here. The details or the scope of work of this project are to have wider sidewalks, to construct a new bike lane of 10.5 feet wide, to convert the street lights to LED, have new medians, and to improve all the intersections on Broadway Road at Horn and Broadway and Stapley. As I said, this project is in 100% plans, and the total cost for this project is $25.1 million. Next. We evaluated all these projects in the change tool that MAG provided, and you can see that we all changed those projects. We evaluated Pecos against Sussman, Ray, and Broadway, and all the projects that I mentioned as active and priority scored higher than the Pecos one that we are wanting to delete. Next. And I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Maria. Do any members have any questions or comments on this agenda item? Seeing none. Staff, have we received any online written comments for this agenda item?
Thank you, Chair. We've received no online written comments.
Thank you. Is there a motion to recommend including the proposed project changes in the draft FY 2025 ALCP?
Motion to approve, Lucas Vargas, City of Phoenix.
We have a motion. Can I get a second?
Let us know by 8 p.m. tonight.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. We will vote by turning on our cameras and unmuting our audio.
And if so, is there something that
Can I have a voice vote? Those in favor say aye.
that could be developed?
Aye.
Staff, let me know when you're ready.
Thank you, Chair. Ready.
Those opposed say nay. Hearing none, staff, can you take roll call of the members participating virtually who did not turn on their camera?
Thank you, Chair. Yes. Jonathan Fuchs,
Abstain.
Charles Andrews,
Aye.
Vice Chair Domi,
Aye.
just one second. Angela Macaluso,
Aye.
Raj Stoughton,
Aye.
Randy Proch.
Aye.
Thank you, Chair. The motion passes.
Thank you. Go ahead and turn off your cameras. Moving on to agenda item number 9, which is the Arterial Life Cycle Program Project Change Technical Review, Val Vista Drive from US 60 to Pueblo Avenue. This item is on the agenda for information, discussion, and possible action, and will be introduced by Patrick Stone. Patrick?
Thank you, Chair. Once again, another item for Maria and Helika Deeb to present. Maria, floor is yours.
Thank you very much, members of the street committee. I'm happy to present this project, and this is to change the fiscal year 26 of the current ALCP. And this one, next. In this one, we also want to maximize the 70-30 under the Prop 400 by deleting Signal View to Broadway to Elliott and have the LCP reimbursement funds transferred to the construction of CP0982 Elliott Road, Eastern Maricopa Floodway, known as EMF, to Ellsworth Road. And the approximate cost of this one is $11.7 million.
Maria, can I interrupt real quick? I think you're on agenda item 10. We're on agenda item 9, which is the Hawes Road project.
Oh, yes, sorry.
No
I'm
worries.
reading too many here. Okay, so in this one, yes, thank you, Patrick. So in this one, we're deleting Haas Road, Elliott to Santan Freeway, and have the reimbursement funds transferred to the construction of CP0062 Val Vista Drive, US 60 to Pueblo, which the total cost of this project is $4.4 million. Next. So I'm going to talk about the project that we're wanting to delete. The project Haas Road, Elliott Road to Santan Freeway was deferred to 2030 plus, and the scope is to build the road to 6 lanes. The current volume in this segment is only 976 cars. The peak PM volume is 142, and the peak AM volume is only 87. No crashes have been identified for this segment of road. Next. So the project we're wanting the funds to go to is this one, the Val Vista Drive US 60 to Pueblo. I have identified the scope of work here, and is to reconstruct this section and pavement widening to accommodate 3 through lanes in each direction from the US 60 north of Southern Avenue to Pueblo. We're going to treat Enid Avenue to Pueblo Avenue. The roadway section between Enid Avenue and Pueblo Avenue is intended to remain as 5 lanes, 2 lanes in each direction with a 2-way left turn lane. The safety upgrades that will be included in the construction are to add bike lanes, sidewalk improvements, landscaping, and make sure that all are ADA compliant ramps and driveways. We will also do drainage improvements as needed, and we will make Val Vista Drive and Southern Avenue a wider and more safer intersection. Next. As I mentioned before, the Val Vista Drive US 60 to Pueblo is a priority for the city to fund and construct next fiscal year or fiscal year 26. The design currently is at 100%, and the construction is estimated to start sometime in fiscal year 25. The IGA with ADOT was signed February 20 of 2019, and the project overview for the construction was estimated at 5.6. Now it is $16 million, the same construction, almost 3 times higher than what we estimated. Next. Using the evaluation tool, you can see that the Val Vista US 60 to Pueblo scores higher than the one we're deleting. That is Haas Road, Elliott to Santa. Next. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you, Maria. Do any members have any questions or comments on this agenda item? Seeing none, staff, have we received any online written comments for this agenda item?
Thank you, Chair. We've received no online written comments.
Thank you. Is there a motion to recommend including the proposed project changes in the draft FY 2025 ALCP?
This is Angela Macaluso, so moved with Maricopa County.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Brad Novacek with the Town of Queen Creek. Second.
Thank you, Brad. We have a motion and a second. We will vote by turning on our cameras and unmuting our audio. Can I have a voice vote? Those in favor say aye.
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 Staff, let me know when you're ready.
Thank you, Chair. We're ready.
Those opposed say nay. Staff, can you take a roll call of the members participating virtually who did not turn on the camera? Everyone else leave their camera on.
Jonathan Fuchs.
Abstain.
Charles Andrews.
Aye.
Randy Proch. Thank you, Chair. The motion passes.
Thank you. Go ahead and turn your cameras off. Moving on to agenda item number 10, which is the ALCP project change technical review, Elliott Road from Eastern Maricopa Floodway to Ellsworth Road. This item is on the agenda for information, discussion, and possible action, and we'll go straight to Maria with this one.
Thank you. This is another change from the City of Mesa for fiscal year 26 of our current ALCP. Next. What we are proposing is to delete Signal Butte from Broadway to Elliott Roads and have the LCP reimbursement funds, which are federal, transfer to the construction of the current ongoing CP0982 Elliott Road Eastern Maricopa Floodway, known also as EMF, to Ellsworth Road. Currently, programmed to Signal Butte is $11.6 million. Next. So the project we're proposing to delete is Signal Butte Broadway Road to Elliott Road. The details of the proposed project are: the length is approximately 4.1 miles. The existing number of travel lanes is 5. And for the length of corridor within the City of Mesa jurisdiction that actually goes from Southern Avenue to Weir, Signal Butte is 5 lane, 3 southbound and 2 northbound. And north of the canal, it switches from 3 lanes northbound to 2 southbound, and it remains 5 lanes after that. There are no active plans to widen. Next. For the reason I mentioned before, we have no active plans to widen. We want to transfer the funds to the construction of this federal ALCP project. Currently, we are at 30% design, and environmental clearance is expected sometime in May or June of 2024. Right-of-way is also federal, and we are going to initiate it in early fiscal year 25. The obligation for design was done in June of 2022, and we advertised for design services, and we selected a consultant in November of 2022. We kicked off formally the final design December 8th of 2022, and the activities that took place last year has been coordinating with stakeholders, including flood control, Maricopa County, etc. Next. As I said, construction is estimated to be in fiscal year 26. When we created the project overview, we estimated construction to be $22 million in cost. Currently is estimated at $30.9 million. The scope of work for the Elliott Road is to widen Elliott Road between Power and 96th Street. We're also going to be doing some improvements along Sussman, along 80th Street, along Haas Road, and also along State Route 202 loop to 1 mile Ellsworth Road. And you can see all that I'm talking about, improving the different roads in that is highlighted in blue. Next. We use the evaluation tool that MAG provided, and you will see that the project Elliott Road from EMF to Ellsworth scored higher than the proposed one to delete, that is Signal Butte Broadway to Elliott Road. Next. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Do any members have any questions or comments? Seeing none, staff, have we received any online written comments for this agenda item?
Thank you, Chair. We've received no online written comments.
Thank you. Is there a motion to recommend including the proposed project changes in the draft FY 2025 ALCP?
Keith, City Litchfield Park. I motion.
Thank you. We have a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Can I get the name?
Nathan, City of Scottsdale.
Thank you, Nathan. We have a motion and a second. We will vote by turning on our cameras and unmuting our audio. Can I have a voice vote? Those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed say nay. Okay, members, please leave your cameras on. Staff, can you take a roll call of the members participating virtually who did not turn on their cameras?
Thank you, Chair. Jonathan Fuchs.
Abstain.
Charles Andrews.
Aye.
Thank you, Chair. The motion passes.
Thank you. Go ahead and turn off the cameras. Agenda item number 11 is the ALCP project change technical review, Carefree Highway from Cave Creek Road to Scottsdale Road. This item is on the agenda for information, discussion, and possible action and will be introduced by Patrick Stone. Patrick?
Thank you, Chair. Last one. Appreciate everyone sticking with us on this. It's my pleasure to introduce Greg Davies with the City of Scottsdale for their project change request.
Thank you, Patrick, for that introduction. And good afternoon, members of the Mag Street Committee. I'm Greg Davies, Senior Transportation Planner with the City of Scottsdale. And we are presenting today a substitute project request or project change request for Carefree Highway from Cave Creek to Scottsdale Road. That's the project that we're kind of zeroing in on that we want to add more funding to. Next slide, please. So the original project that we would like to zap some funds from is Scottsdale Road, Thompson Peak Parkway to Pinnacle Peak Road, Phase 2. This roadway is going to be a future major arterial, 6-lane arterial. Right now it's 4 lanes. And we did our part in widening the bridge just south of Pinnacle Peak Road over the Rawhide Wash. So we have done that. We partnered with the State Land Department and widened that bridge for this roadway. This roadway has to be widened. And it says in the agenda that we're going to delete it. We're not going to delete it, but we're going to delete it from the current ALCP. And we're optimistic that Prop 479 will be approved, and we're going to program that into the Prop 479. As you can see on this photo to the left is a huge swath of state land that eventually will be developed. So obviously the developers will be responsible for that half street. It's just uncertain when that's going to happen. And a lot of you maybe know that the Coyotes were looking at this area just south of this for improvements to a complex, but that's still kind of in the works. But it will happen. So, which is a good thing. And this road does need to be widened. There's a lot of volume, and you'll see in the project change tool with the scoring. Next slide, please. And that last project was a total of 11 million. That's about 7.7 in ALCP funds. So this is the proposed project, Carefree Highway, Cave Creek to Scottsdale Road. Currently has 21.5 million in with MAG and local funds. Right now it's a 2-lane facility. It needs to become a 4-lane facility with raised landscape medians and bike lanes, a side path on the south side, and other improvements to signals and intersections. This is really an important roadway. It's a huge connection to I-17. Phoenix has done their roadway expansion to the west of Cave Creek. And we just want to match that cross section. It's at 60% design. And we need some funding, as Maria alluded to in her projects. We estimate a little bit low on this one, and we need to infuse some more funds into this project. It's really important, though. It is a huge connection to Scottsdale Road, and then a lot of movement south on Scottsdale and north to the Loop 101. Next slide, please. So here's the substitute request and the change that we would like to see happen. So the Scottsdale Road, Thompson Peak Parkway to Pinnacle Peak, Phase 2, as I mentioned, it will be a future 6-lane arterial. We did our improvements on the Wash at Rawhide. There is some, vacant land I said and mentioned on the west side, and certain timing of the development is very unknown. So Carefree Highway is our project we want to focus on, and we want to shift the $7.718 million in MAG funds in the Prop 400 ALCP as of today into this project. Next slide, please. Here's the ALCP project change tool. The Cave Creek to Scottsdale Road, the Carefree Highway project scored a little bit lower than the original project. I think that's kind of due to just the volumes that are on Scottsdale Road and the need for some improvements there. But it was pretty close. The qualitative score was the same. Similar scores, but just scored a little bit lower than the original project. Next slide, please. Any questions regarding our request?
Thanks, Greg. Do any members have any questions for Greg? Seeing none, staff, have we received any online written comments for this agenda item?
Thank you, Chair. We've received no online written comments.
Thank you. Is there a motion to recommend including the proposed project changes in the draft FY 2025 ALCP?
I so move. This is Maria
Thank you, Maria.
Angelica City Basin.
Can I have a second?
Second, this is Angela. Go ahead, Brad.
Thank you, Angela.
We'll go with you, Angela.
All
We
right.
have a motion and a second. We will vote by turning on our cameras and unmuting our audio for the last time of today. Can I have a voice vote? Those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed say nay. Everybody leave your cameras on. Staff, can you take a roll call of the members participating virtually who did not turn on their camera?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Jonathan Fuchs,
Abstain.
Charles Andrews,
Aye.
John Willett,
Aye, sorry. Camera, I double clicked the camera.
thank you, Mr. Chair. The motion passes.
Thank you, everyone. You can turn off your cameras now. We got through it. Agenda item number 12 is the request for future agenda items. Are there any requests from the membership for an item on a future agenda? Hearing none, we'll move to agenda item number 13, which are comments from the committee. Are there any comments or announcements from the membership? Also hearing none. The next meeting of the street committee will be on Tuesday, June 11th, 2024 at 1 p.m. With no further business, today's meeting is adjourned at 1:56 p.m. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.